Hey everyone, welcome to Omnitrix Radio. I'm your host, Demigloom, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Riely. What's up, Riely?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Glad you're back.
Yeah, this is episode 4 of our show. We watched 2 great episodes of Ben 10. Had a great time, and we just now got on a call to record this podcast. Take 1, baby.
That's right. So now, before we get into things today, or before we get into the episodes today, we are getting into things, just not the episode. Before we get into the episode today, we got a comment, I believe. And I'll go ahead and read it from our audience. I don't know. It hasn't loaded yet. I couldn't possibly know. But yeah, I'll go ahead and read the comment today, but don't start expecting this, Demigloom, okay? Listen, let me make things very clear, because one time at age 8, I washed the dishes to be nice, and then it became my job to wash the dishes. It ain't my job to read the fucking comments. I am alleviating you today.
That's what you think, Riely.
This is a kindness, not a permanence. All right, so anyway, the comment...
I respect you, Jimmy.
The comment's from Ellie, who says... Don't worry, this comment is a lot shorter than the last one. I love the episode Hunted. I watched it again and again as a kid. Excuse me. It's so good, it makes me bounce up and down in my chair, revealing my autism and excitement. Also, my pronoun...
I can't even fathom being that into that episode of Ben 10. It was, like, not that great, but okay.
I thought Hunted was great.
It was great, but, like, bouncing up and down in your chair, like... I mean, like, that I bounce up and down in my chair over Breaking Bad, and that's about it.
Come on. There are just as good Ben 10 episodes as there are Breaking Bad.
Okay. You know, I realized I was accidentally, like, you know, actually not being pissy for a second. So I'm going to go back to my usual state real quick.
Okay. So anyway, also, my pronouns are she/they. But I prefer she/her more than they/them. So you may as well always use she/her. So don't worry, you accidentally got it right. I really appreciate you switching to they/them for this episode for my sake. Also, I'm glad I made you guys laugh. Though, now I'm extra self-conscious about how much I type lol and lamau. I will continue to be summary.
I thought she was just going to say how much I type. And I was going to be like, yeah, that is a valid concern, but LOL and
it's
Lamau
not a valid concern. I'd love to type more. Write us research papers every week. I'm here for it.
No, we like it when you type a lot because we're desperate, okay? Normal people aren't supposed to type that much.
Well, don't call Ellie abnormal.
She's listening to Omnitrix Radio. I mean...
Fair enough.
By definition, that's abnormal.
Listen to any Riely and Demigloom podcast. Yeah, it does make you abnormal. It's true. So let me continue here. Thank you for the open door, though I'll stay in the parasocial realm for now. Wow, Debbie, we've got our first parasocial relationship.
I can't believe it.
We've made it.
The first parasocial relationship we're on the top of.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We're on the receiving end rather than the giving end.
Of course, it's a given that we've been in plenty of parasocial relationships the other way.
You know, normal people consider internet friendships in general parasocial, but we've stooped to a low where that's just friendship and not a parasocial relationship.
But that's not a low, though. That's just the world evolving and changing, and creating more connections. And
it's a low for me. Me considering you an actual friend.
Demi, I am probably in your top 5. I'm certain that's true.
You are probably in my top 5. And that is bad. That's not a good thing.
Why isn't it?
So this is nothing against you personally, but the fact that, like, you being one of my closest friends being somebody who lives in Florida, who I will probably never meet in person, is not a great thing. It's not a great part of someone's life.
I think it's easier than you think to meet in person, at least eventually.
Maybe.
Like, I feel like it'll come up.
Perhaps.
Look, Florida's a very common vacation spot, so all it has to be is one family vacation choice, and bam.
I guess, like, when you're like when you're a child like me who like lives with her parents, like the idea of like meeting an internet person in real life is just like so unreal. It's like fantastical.
Demi, you're an adult.
I mean, functionally, I'm still a child because I'm in high school.
Because you're in high school and you live under your parents' roof. I feel like your parents love. I guess I don't know your parents, but I feel like most parents, logically, if they're not insane, have to have some sort of the switch between when your kid is when your kid is a kid and when your kid becomes an adult, where it's like, hey, you know, I'll still look out for them, but like the shit that I would have just shut down before, it is kind of their choice, so I gotta kind of approach it a little more reasonably.
Listen, so like my parents don't like rule me with an iron fist when it comes to just like my general life choices, but they strongly encourage me to do things under the threat of them not providing certain things for me anymore. So they might as well just be like kid parents to me because I
certain
succumb
things
to all of their
that's
desires.
true, right? But like I feel like maybe your parents just suck. Maybe they're not normal, but like your average parent like has to approach it with some level of tact in some case. Like those threats are useful for the shit that's really bad. Like if you start like doing real bad shit, like yeah, maybe hold those things as leverage. But it's like I'm gonna have a friend that I met on the internet over for a little while.
Well, that's a matter of their property, and that's a bit complicated.
Or I'm going to go to a place where that internet friend is.
Yeah, I guess.
I could talk to you. I could charm your parents. One phone call.
Yeah, that's
one phone call and they paying for my ticket.
Listening to one episode of Largest Issue of the Galaxy, and I'm never allowed to talk to you again.
I think if they listen to one episode of Largest Issue in the Galaxy, they're never going to talk to you again.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
But anyway, I got to figure out where I was in that Ellie comment. Oh, parasocial. And yes, the visuals are great. Random smattering of letters.
Thank you. I love the visuals. They're great. Yeah, I'm glad she agrees. They're better than Jason's.
True.
Ellie, go look at look at the Jelly U podcast and tell me if the visuals. We're gonna link the Jelly U podcast in the description. Tell us if the visuals for that podcast are better or worse.
It's exclusively out of spite. Like, here's this episode in the description. See these worst visuals, Lamau. Get fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, Riely, have you finally came to your senses that my visuals are better than Jason's?
No, I'm just memeing. It's not true.
Fuck you.
Yeah, get fucked, loser. I assume they were stolen from the show as GIF screenshots because they look so legitimate. LOL.
Can I just explain the visuals real quick? Since she did mention it. What I did for the visuals was I took one Ben 10 wallpaper, right? Which was just the background, like black dots, green background.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're talking about.
When he's like transforming, I took like that plain image and then like added my own like bubble effects and then like obviously our profile pictures and whatnot. So that's what that is. I didn't like steal a GIF from the show or anything.
You handcrafted you handcrafted all of it.
It contains one image from the show. Okay, I transformed it.
It's very transformative, yes. But anyway,
I live a pretty transformative life, if you know what I'm saying.
Transformative. All right. Anyway, I found the channel because I saw the Ben 10 Let's Play. Though I have seen the shirt video, it was funny. Agreed.
The shirt video was not funny.
Yes, it was.
Worst video ever. Bad movie.
Best Riely and Friends video.
Yeah, best Riely and Friends.
It's awful. It's the worst. I hate it. Least insufferable Riely and Friends video. Anyway, hold on. I haven't seen any of the other videos because I don't watch movies really. I guess all I've posted recently is Ben 10 shit and movie review podcast and the shirts that go on. So that's fair. There is a backlog of things that aren't that though, Ellie, if you're interested in other content. And there will be more. I don't know if you like the manga Berserk. I feel like probably not. I meant Berserk. I meant to say Berserk. But if you like the manga, if you
I
just
think
so
you-
happen to like the manga Berserk, you can look forward to some cuts.
I think you're pronouncing Prozac wrong.
My favorite manga, Prozac.
All right, this comment is very long. We have to get this show on the road.
I gotcha. I keep losing my place. I want to watch.
Bradley likes Clissy.
I do like Clissy. I want to watch the new Dragon Ball movie though. I'm excited for it. Starting to like this Ellie person just a little bit more.
I don't like you, Ellie. I hate Dragon Ball.
Shut up.
And by extension, you now.
Damn.
You had a good run.
You had a good run. This is totally unrelated to anything, but it's weird how the perception of the media you consume changes over time. As a little girl, I had a crush on Pan from Dragon Ball GT, but now she's like my daughter. But it's funny that you say that, because the Pan was my waifu as a kid. I loved Pan for Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah?
You ever seen Pan from Dragon Ball GT?
I have.
How do you feel?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not attracted to any Dragon Ball Z characters, and I don't know how old she is.
Oh, you'd be attracted to Bulma from the new movie, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Bulma, exception.
Oh, okay. Good. And yeah, for some reason, 90s and 2000s have an obsession with putting weird white substances on little girls. It's kind of weird. Kind of like Demigloom. But I don't know. They never sexualized Gwen, even in the future.
She didn't say kind of like Demigloom, did she?
No, I said that.
I was going to say. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that offhand comment was a little too Riely core to be in the Ellie comment.
Riely core. I don't know. They never sexualized Gwen, even in the future when she's older and like alien forests. And it never happens in OG, but I must assume it's a complete coincidence that it happens to be white. Or I'm blinded by nostalgia that my childhood could never be sexual. I don't know. Fun fact, by the way, in the credits for this episode, Tetrax is named Hoverboard. Wow.
Wait, what? Hoverboard?
I guess
I love
they didn't,
hoverboard.
I guess they didn't come up with his name yet, or they changed their
This
minds.
is true.
Later.
They didn't. I remember them not mentioning his name and only like reading his name Tetrax in the wiki, and just remembering the name from the Destroy All Aliens movie.
I feel like the wiki should have specified that was not revealed within that particular time before referring to him as Tetrax. It seems weird that they wouldn't, but. Right. I guess they didn't come up with a name yet, or they changed their mind later. Thank God they changed it, though. That's like if Riley's name was Lawnmower. Yeah, okay.
What, do you mow the lawn?
That was a bad...
That's like if Riley's name was Shitty Headset that needs to be
metaphor.
replaced.
True. That one's good. Side note, it may be gaxing time, but how did the writers come up with the name Vilgax anyway? But she's writing it like a stand-up comedy routine at this point. Well, how did the writers come up with the name Vilgax anyway?
Yeah. There's this guy called Vilgax. You guys heard of this? You guys heard of this
guy? You guys heard of this guy?
Well, apparently...
I must assume it's villain, but what does Gax come from? Does it just sound good? Makes me curious. Speaking of...
It's Gek. It's Gex.
Yeah,
That's
Gex. Gex Enter the Gecko for the PS1.
No, 100 Gex, the Hyperpop duo.
Okay. Speaking of Vilgax Speaking of Vilgax paying the bounty hunters, where does he get that money from? Do you think he's like a politician? Vote for Vilgax 2022?
Yo.
But I guess he's probably a warlord, haha. Also, Ten Shapiro is really stupid but really funny. Gurgled collection of letters.
I like people who...
She literally has a fucking... This is a stand-up comedy routine. She has like an impression in here. That's part of the part of the compliment. Part of the comment.
This is true.
So this is going to be my attempt at a Ben Shapiro voice. Here we go, folks. Because that's... I was demanded. It's part of the art. Let's say, hypothetically, that you have the Omnitrix, and you can transform into 10 different aliens. What does this imply? What does this imply about the trans agenda?
It implies that people think they can be whatever they want nowadays, regardless of their objective biological constructs that make
Yeah,
up
that Ben 10
the
keeps
person they
changing his
are.
biology, and it's like Ben
The
Shapiro has to
show
be
Ben
like,
10 implies that. Go on.
Go ahead. I was gonna say Ben Shapiro is like the Scar from Full Metal Alchemist of the Ben 10 universe. You haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist, have you?
I know about Scar from Full Metal Alchemist because I read like a good part of it.
Yeah, he he gets revenge on alchemists by using alchemy because he feels like the revenge needs to happen regardless of what he's doing, and he's taking the sin to like uphold the honor or whatever the fuck to exact the revenge. And that's what Ten Shapiro would be doing. You know, he doesn't agree with all this fucking biology changing, but he has to utilize the technology in order to stop it for good.
Ben Shapiro has to become trans to stop trans people. He has to fully medically transition to prove how awful it is.
He has to become trans and get superpowers.
We're just making the real life version and the Ben 10 version two completely different things now.
Of course. I think the Ghost Freak is a Republican anarchist in his political spectrum. And then in parentheses, is that a thing? I don't know anything about politics. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is that a thing?
That would just
Is there
be
a
like
Republican anarchist?
I mean, there's anarcho.
That would just be Republican.
Capitalism.
Shut up.
What? I'm an anarchist in some respect. I don't hold anarchy to like. I don't like look down upon anarchists. No,
Okay.
I think Republican anarchist would just be like the most hardcore libertarian ever.
Fair.
Although I think like a Republican anarchist would have to violate like the actual principles of anarchy because whether you like anarchy or not, like I feel like anarchy is a left-winged ideology. It's just by principle, but the closest thing to a Republican anarchist would probably be just a super hardcore libertarian that like wants no regulation on anything.
Hell yeah. That's me. I'm that.
Oh, you're not.
I mean, I don't like the government too much. Not a fan.
Okay, neither. I don't like the government either, and I'm a communist.
Communists are involved in the government. There's a government when there's communists.
Newsflash, Riley. People of just about every political ideology are involved in the government. There are anarchists in the
No.
government.
It's not true. The whole point of anarchy is to not have a government.
No, it's more. There's more to it than that. Like a large fraction of like anarchists at this point are like, listen, we need a powerful government to make sure we don't have a powerful government. Because they're aware because people are becoming aware of that government is just like a thing that why are we doing this? Why? Back to the Ellie comment.
Stop! I'm fascinated. I was engaged.
Government is something that naturally occurs. So we know that anarchy isn't sustainable, right? So like we're gonna be like, you know what? Fuck the government. We're gonna like start our own farming village, and then like, okay, so we're gonna control the crops, and then to make sure, and then basically like 2 days later you have a new government, right? And then that shit becomes corrupt, and then like, so they're like, we need a government to make sure there's no government. Essentially, most anarchic anarchist in 2022.
Okay. So anyway.
In conclusion, fuck Ron DeSantis.
Sanchez?
DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis. All right.
Morty, we can't let the kids learn about gay people.
Morty.
We can't let them say gay. We need a bill.
Morty, you can't let them say gay, Morty. They'll die, Morty.
Okay.
They'll be groomed, Morty. Okay. Anyway, to continue on the comment. I kind of should, though, as an adult. But listen, Ben 10 is more important. True. Correct. It's good that Ben was taught by Tetrax and Max to think with his head, not his hands. But in Ultimate Alien, Ben thinks with the wrong head. Listen,
Riley.
He might do a couple silly little things.
Listen, Riley.
Yeah?
Last night, I made your mom think with her head, not her hands. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. All right.
I had to. Like, come on. Like, I know I'm like the mom jokes are not funny anymore, but Like, that just had to. Like,
Listen,
it would be an injustice.
Don't be sweating on the Omniverse. That's not what I meant to say. Don't be sweating Ultimate Alien Ben. Come on, bro. Listen. There's exactly one instance I could think of where he was like completely brain dead. But that was just like one episode with a really stupid plot. Most of Ultimate Alien, like, he's a little goofy, but he's been a little goofy since Alien Force Season 3. It's not just Ultimate Alien. And I think Ultimate Alien kind of starts to bridge that gap even. Because the general opinion of the fan base, and like, I guess I'll see if I agree, because I haven't seen Alien Force. I'm parroting this as somebody who hasn't like watched Alien Force in forever. But from what I'm told, the general consensus about that era is that the first 2 seasons of Alien Force are like great, perfect, wonderful. Then the 3rd season fucking sucks, apparently, because they like decided to take away all of Teen Ben's character development so they'd be more like young Ben, so they could sell more Ben 10. Because people liked the young Ben, so they thought by making the old Ben act like the young Ben, they would get more viewers back.
Yeah, that's gonna have a huge,
interesting plan.
That's gonna have a huge impact.
So yeah, apparently Alien Force Season 3 sucks, and like Ultimate Alien does not fully get back to like the amount of Ben maturity that existed in like Alien Force Season 2, but it's a step in the right direction. That's what I'm told, and I've watched a bunch of Ultimate Alien. Like, I haven't watched Alien Force's reference, but I have watched a bunch of Ultimate Alien. And he's a goofy guy, but like, I feel like that's generally who Ben 10 is. Like, if he's not a goofy guy at all in the first 2 seasons of Alien Force, I probably won't like the first 2 seasons of Alien. I'm being serious.
I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of Alien Force recently, and I could say he is indeed a pretty silly goose.
Okay, good. They didn't ruin his silly goosiness, but yeah, that's my opinion. Don't be sweating Ultimate Alien. There better be an apology in this next comment about sweating Ultimate Alien Ben Tennyson, okay? How dare you? Anyway, we're like only halfway through this comment.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. By the way, we see 6'6" have flesh arms inside his armor and Hunted. It's never bring to the direct attention of the audience, but it's there. Is it? That's pretty cool. I didn't notice. Fuck. I know how intimidating Vilgax is. I don't think there's I'm bad at reading. I don't think there's ever a scarier villain past him. He's so cool. As Demi said, the 2 worlds of the summer road trip of innocent children and Vilgax's hunt for a powerful superweapon is so cool. Great contrast. Yeah, I don't think I paid that point enough mind when you actually made it, but hearing Ellie put it into words in this comment, that's not a diss, by the way, that's me saying it genuinely. I'm not like trying to say you didn't say it interestingly, but like, Ellie brought it back up, and I'm like, yeah, that is a really good fucking point, Demigloom. I agree.
Hell yeah.
Also, I really like the podcast. I know you guys are insecure about it, but I like it a lot.
Oh, we're not insecure about it. We're just painfully aware of how bad it is.
The fact that we suck.
Yeah.
No, but I always appreciate kind words. Those are the kinds of things that keep me going. Like, a million people can say I'm bad or ignore me, but when one person says they like the podcast, that makes it all worth it.
Right, like a million people can like affirm my gender identity, but like all it takes is one idiot on 4chan to say you'll never be a woman, and then like my life is ruined. So it's like the same thing.
Same general concept.
Yeah. You transphobic piece of shit, Ellie.
We've been so rude to Ellie this entire time. No more being mean to Ellie. Not allowed.
No, we love Ellie. Ellie's our favorite.
Understandable. I agree. Also, that she is also my favorite. Tetrax is a bastard. I love him. He was my favorite character as a kid, though as an adult, Max is my favorite. Also, I had all of Ben 10 and Ben 10 Alien Force on DVD as a kid, and they were in American airing order, despite me living in the UK. Though, do whatever order you want. I don't mind, LOL. Also, speaking of Kevin, I'm so excited for him to be introduced next episode because he's so cool. It's kind of weird looking back at Kevin in the Ben 10 original series because I'm so used to his self in every later series. But he's still so cool. I have a feeling that if he was a girl, I'd have had a crush on her as a kid. Girl Kevin would be hot. If I think about it,
yeah.
if I apply the same general features as Kevin but make it feminine, it's like, yeah, that'd probably be pretty hot.
Yeah.
And for the Omniverse Gwen question, to put it simply, I really like dorky girls. They make me really gay. Okay, they're cute. Gwen in the rest of Omniverse is really cute. I like her. By the way, you know how I said this comment would be shorter than the last one? Selective disinformation.
Collective disinformation.
That was a line from the last episode.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That was a
Ellie.
really funny line.
How much of the podcast did Ellie's... We've been going for 26 minutes already.
It's already.
It's all already. That's what he should have named himself. That was his first slip.
That was his first slip.
I chose those words very carefully, Demigloom. Trust me.
That was Jimmy's first slip.
Jimmy's first slip. Can we get a Better Call Saul movie called Better Call Saul, Jimmy's Last Slip?
God, that's fucking hilarious. All right, Riely.
Ellie, watch Breaking Bad. We need Ellie to
have
get
we
it.
asked her?
No, I guess have you ever watched Breaking Bad? But we need to get Ellie into. If she hasn't watched Breaking Bad, we need to get her so into it that we can just cancel Omnitrix Radio and do a Breaking Bad show, and she'll be just as happy with it.
Honestly, based. Not gonna lie.
We'll start fucking Heisenberg Radio.
All right, are we ready to talk about episodes?
Shit.
Oh shit! No, the poll.
Question. Yeah, that's. I had it in my head. That on the tip of my tongue. Okay, let me get it for you. I'll get that shit.
What was the poll?
The poll was.
Oh, the which one was hotter?
Which Gwen was hotter? Yeah.
And Ellie said the one with the glasses, the nerdy one was.
Holy
right?
Shit! No! What have I done?
What?
I made a goof. I made a silly little goof. I accidentally didn't correctly label the poll.
Oh. Do we get any votes?
Let me see. Oh, nope, this is just the whole last poll. I don't think a straw poll actually exists. I accidentally just copied and pasted the straw poll.
You copied and pasted?
Episode.
You motherfucker.
Because how I usually do it is I do copy and paste the last question, and then I delete everything except for comment on YouTube or vote in the straw poll, because it's easier to have that pasted than type it out.
Right.
So what I usually do is I delete the question, I delete the straw poll link, and I leave that. But I guess I was kind of distracted when I was uploading this, so I just did not do that and left the first straw poll in the description.
Listen, Riely.
Yeah,
You're making this too complicated. The straw poll link in the description. Selective disinformation.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we make a meme that's just like Tetrax?
Selective disinformation.
Big like 2005 like impact font text, just selective disinformation, and just reply that to like people lying.
It's like an article about like Donald Trump lying.
Selective disinformation.
Like a really like an aggressive, like liberal article where it's like Donald Trump lied and people died, and it's just like selective disinformation.
No. We need like a Chad Wojak of like Tetrax that just says selective disinformation. It'll be like the Chad yes emoji. You'll be like, you fucking lied. And it's just like selective disinformation. All right, are we ready now?
You could Ben as the crying Wojak.
Yes. Yeah, somebody make this. Ellie, do you draw? You're a girl with pronouns. I know you know how to draw. Please.
Do you know how to draw?
No. I have a penis, Riely.
You're still a girl with pronouns.
Okay, people with vaginas that have pronouns are good at drawing. It's true.
Oh, I see.
Cis girls, trans masks, they all draw. They all have fucking like iPads and drawing tablets and shit. And they're all like insanely good at drawing, and they think they're not good.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know, but like
these artists just developed similar personalities to gay people.
I don't know, I guess. I think it's more like lesbians and trans masks.
God, lesbians are hot.
Shut the fuck up, Riely.
Listen, I'm in an impaired state of mind right now. You can't just fucking bring up lesbians and not expect it to do something to me.
My client pleads insanity. Your
Plead
Honor,
insanity for
he
what
was in a
crime?
goofy mood, fetishizing lesbians.
Why am I not allowed to fetishize lesbians?
Okay, so thinking like lesbian sex and that sort of thing is hot is okay. But like being like, ooh, you're a lesbian, bro? That's so hot, bro. Like fetishizing lesbians like as people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
immediate
when I say it, it's in a sexual context.
right.
In this
Right,
case,
right. But like you got to be careful when you say that like say lesbians are hot because like the woke mob on Twitter is going to think you mean like the moment like you hear someone's a lesbian, you just come in your pants and imagine having a threesome with them. I know this because I got canceled and I talked about it on
that does not happen to me usually, Demigloom. It's just simply that I have extreme amounts of marijuana in me right now.
Yes,
So
I know. I know. I'm telling you that you're fine,
Okay,
and I'm explaining why you're fine. And I'm
gotcha.
explaining to the woke mob why.
You're trying to get me out of this.
Yes, better call Demi if you're getting canceled.
Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of a bit. I thought of
What?
our straw poll, and it has nothing to do with either of the episodes. I guess the last one didn't either, so that's okay. The last one that doesn't actually exist. The poll should be because we had a conversation before the show started, right? Where you were lamenting me recording podcasts while high, and
Yes.
I brought up that episode 1 of Omnitrix Radio was recorded while I was high. And you said that affected the quality of the episode. I personally disagree. I remember that being a great episode.
Oh, I lied.
So the straw poll.
Riley, I
did
was
you lie?
lying. I was coping and seething.
Oh, you were coping and seething. Okay, so no straw poll needed then, I guess. I'm just great. Highly is great. 10 out of
Yes.
10. Yeah,
Okay.
highly is base. Highly's better than so Briley.
So Briley. So Briley.
So Briley, yep.
Are you gonna go sober for 10 days and smoke cigarettes and shave your head?
Yes.
Riley like tries to think what the bit is, and he just like, yeah. Rusty Cage sobriety challenge.
I never saw any of those videos.
Damn, you're gay.
I don't really care about Rusty Cage that much.
You mean to tell me this cage is rusty?
This Cage be motherfucking red. Why is it rusty? What's going on in there? And by the way, Demigloom, I don't know what order we agreed on earlier, but you're going first.
Oh, that's fine. I know I was going first.
Okay.
So
I actually just went between it a couple times in my head. Like I was gonna say that opposite thing about 10 seconds ago, but then I was like, because I was thinking I'm probably gonna be really sleepy by the time it gets to me if I let you go first. But the Kevin 11 episode was awesome, so I'll power through it.
Can I please always go first?
No.
Fuck you. Okay, so basically, I tried a new strategy that I think will help me on this podcast. Okay, my new podcast strat is basically typing up everything that I could think of, like a court reporter, as I'm watching the episode. So I write the plot summary with my notes, basically, so I don't have to read the stupid wiki, which describes every fucking frame in great detail. So
There was something I did that for. I don't remember what it was, but it was just so tedious that I had no desire to do it again, and thus I haven't done it again since. I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me look at my nebulous group chat with nobody for a second and see if I spot it. I think that's where I put it. Hold on, what was I looking for again?
Riley,
No, seriously, tell me. I'll be freaked out if you don't.
go to bed.
No!
So you wrote your plot summary along with your notes for something.
Yeah. Okay. I'm figuring it out. Oh! I did it for this show!
Cool.
It wasn't for the plot, but I wrote that, like, anytime I had any thought about the show, because this is my strategy, because I was high, like, from the beginning. I watched these episodes sober, by the way. That's the difference, so I remember them better. But I was high, like, that whole day.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna just, like, note every time I have a thought about the episode that I think might be entertaining to convey on the podcast, write it down.
Pretty good idea.
Yeah, pretty good, but also very tedious.
It is.
But if you remember, I had like
tedious.
17,000 points about the episodes in the first episode, and then never had as many points again. That's why.
Yeah. Do you take notes anymore?
No.
Why?
Never have, never will, never did before, never will again.
Why?
Too much work.
So taking notes at all is too much work for you.
Hold on, I think, is Ida like legitimately freaking out because I think rape is funny? Because now she's DMing me.
Riely, why did you say that right now? Do you think that was a good decision?
It's fine because you can cut it out.
Make a correct note.
Cool.
Did you make a note?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, moving forward. So essentially, it opens up with a scene of Ben fighting criminals as Ripjaws, right? He goes Ripjaws.
This was sick.
Yeah, and he whoops their ass, right? And it's really cool, really good action. And as he's beating up these criminals, the criminals start a fire and surround Ben with fire, and he's sort of stuck in the middle of this fire, and he realizes, holy shit, I need water. And I think this is the first time the audience is introduced to the fact that Ripjaws like needs water to survive, like constantly, and can only breathe on land for a certain amount of time. Essentially, he like smashes through the bridge or whatever, gets back in the water, works his way around it, beats the shit out of these criminals and wins. And then it was a cop who was like, walks up to him and he's like, man, I don't care what anybody says. You circus freaks are okay by me. And then Ben's like, circus freak? What the fuck? I ain't no circus freak. I'm a hero. And then the theme song plays. I was pretty confused as to what that meant when I first saw this. Circus freak.
Oh
Like,
shit. I was saying things. How long have I been muted? What was the last thing I said?
it was before I started my summary.
Fuck.
The last thing you said was that was sick. The fact that Ripjaws fought some criminals.
Okay, so I got that part out. The other thing I said was that I liked the I'm not a freak, I'm a hero line.
Yeah. So, like, what does this imply about, like, the Ben 10 canon? Does this imply that there's, like, a bunch of, like, weird mutant vigilantes that exist in this universe aside from Ben?
No,
and that, like, people are talking about them?
Demi, are you literally brain dead?
No, I know. I know they're talking about the circus freaks.
No!
What? Explain to
Demi.
me.
The lore within the Ben 10 universe, nobody knows how Ben 10 works. They assume each of Ben's aliens is a separate alien vigilante.
So you're saying this person is referring to the different aliens that Ben is?
Yes.
Then why are they calling them circus freaks?
Wait, no, hold on. I was talking about something else.
Well, I was talking about that. Him calling them circus
What were some
freaks.
other lines that they said? Remind me.
I don't remember because I didn't note every line of dialogue because the intro was really like not important.
Okay, what was the thing that was wrong? That'll get me on the right track.
Oh my god, Riely, we're
Please,
moving on.
I have to know. I have to know. This is for me.
This is why
for me.
This is why I don't want to talk to Riely anymore. Okay, Riely is just insufferable, just dwelling on the stupidest shit. Ben was called a circus freak by the police, and I'm wondering, like, does this imply that there are other there are other vigilantes that he's being confused for, or is this just talking about the clown criminals which exist as well? But like, he doesn't look like a clown or like circus.
He doesn't say you look like one of those like circus freaks, like in particular. He's just saying he looks like a circus freak. It's just a general insult. I'm thinking of is there's like lore established in the next episode that implies that the assumption is that there's separate alien vigilantes, but they're all Ben actually.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah, I got a little confused.
Okay, anyways, they see an ad for the circus, and Gwen's like, "Grandpa, can we go to the circus?" And then Grandpa's like, "Oh, I haven't been to the circus since I was a boy."
Since I was but a boy, since I was a young lad.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ben's like, circus, lame. And he doesn't want to do it. And then they're like, fuck you, Ben. It's circus time. And they go to the circus.
Real quick. Hold on. Ellie's like so confused right now, and she's been confused for the past like this entire episode. Demi, I goofed about my goofs.
What?
I had the wrong episode open when I said that I had fucked up the struggle.
What?
So I actually didn't fuck up the struggle.
Oh my
I
God.
thought I was on the current episode, and I wasn't.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like, what the fuck is he talking about? The straw poll's right there. Yeah, it is. It's true.
Let me ask one vote for the Gwen that I like and you don't like.
I bet so, because I bet Ellie voted, but let's see. You know, these do get more than the Ellie view. They get a couple.
Yeah, they get like 2 or 3 more.
That's not true. They get amounts more. You stupid. Whoa, okay. Oh my god, my fucking taint is burning. This chair sucks. Yeah, rest of on the verse Ven, 1 vote. There you go. Or Gwen, not Ben. I keep going.
Sorry. They see an ad for the circus and they go to the circus. And when they arrive at the circus, before like the actual show starts, some hype man is like introducing a bunch of these weird clown people. It's really like just a posse of insane clowns are being shown off here. And
So some sort of an insane posse which contains clowns.
some sort of insane clown posse is being displayed here. What?
That was part of the bit.
Okay. There's a dude who's like, his head looks like a thumb. He has like a nail on his forehead, and he's like huge and super ripped. There's a dude with like toxic breath. He breathes like acid gas and like melts metal. And then there's this girl with like dreadlocks that like move around, like she could control and move around and like smash shit and grab things.
Be on that fucking Medusa type shit, you know?
Yeah. So Riely, you're into Clussy.
I am into Clussy.
Were you intrigued by this female clown character that was displayed in this episode?
She didn't even. She was just a freak. She wasn't a clown.
All three of them are clowns.
No, Zombozo's the clown. The other ones are the circus freaks. The circus freaks and the clowns are 2 very different parts of the circus.
Circus freaks are clowns.
No, they're not. But they're not like. I guess that might be their technical job title. But the dynamic is there's the clown, and he's the clown. He's the one with like the wig and the fucking nose and shit. And then there's the freaks, and they're just like weirdos with like weird deformities.
Ellie,
these guys are the freaks.
Ellie, tell this man the truth. Settle this shit.
She wasn't a clown. She was just like some like fucking pink chick.
They all have like super white skin. Okay, they're very clown designed.
I don't think so.
All right, whatever. So yeah, obviously these are going to be the bad guys. I think that's probably going to be pretty obvious to anybody watching this episode. Ben like looks into a tent and he sees the main act, Zombozo, the big fat clown, and he's like looking in the mirror and like talking about the show or whatever to himself, and he's like, "We're gonna knock him dead." And then Ben is like kind of freaked out.
He just makes like 19 different puns about dead. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I mean it is a kid's cartoon.
I'll knock them dead. They're gonna laugh themselves to deaths. It's he doesn't like a lot.
Zombozo's show starts and pretty much amuses everybody.
The Zombozo Shozo?
Yes.
I'm glad I pulled that off. I thought I was going to slur over that, but I'm proud of myself.
Pretty much everyone in the crowd is amused with the exception of Ben, who is kind of freaked out, so he decides to, quote-unquote, go get some popcorn, when in reality he just wanted to leave. he sees the circus freaks break into a nearby jewelry store, steal the jewelry. The breath guy destroys a car with his breath and steals the radio, and the hair lady rips an ATM out of the wall with her hair, delivering the awful
That
line.
was like a sick fucking sequence of like a heist.
She ruins it with "It's payday" or some stupid shit like that. Like what? Like come on, bro. Like
No, that's what Kevin says in the next episode.
no, the girl says it's payday.
Does she?
Yes,
They used it twice?
they used "It's
Kevin
payday."
says that in the next episode. Literally the next one.
It doesn't matter. Fuck them. Ben turns into Wild Mutt and fights them and attempts to retrieve the money and goods that they stole. That he like whoops their ass, and then they go get Zombozo. He initiates an interlude for his show, and he comes and like beats the living shit out of Wild Mutt. Wild Mutt hides underneath a cell phone tower. Then the hair lady like pulls it down, and Ben is seemingly killed in the crash. He
Oh yeah,
clowns
because
are
we
like-
believe that for sure.
yeah, the circus freaks and Zombos were like, man, that's some old bullshit. That was a little bitch. Like, why did you even bother me? And then Ben, obviously, they walk away, and obviously it's revealed that Ben survived. That he crawls out of the pile of like what's the word? The pile of waste. The
Yeah.
remains of the cell phone tower. Was that even a cell phone tower? I don't know.
I don't
Some
know,
sort of
some
tower.
sort of tower.
Some sort of tower that looked like a cell phone tower.
Hey, fun fact, by the way. This is a fun fact you learn if you watch Ben 10 Omniverse. Fun fact, Ben 10 is literally unkillable. Not even with Alien X, just in general.
What about like without
The Omnitrix quote has a failsave that won't let him die.
What?
Yes, there's a scene in Omniverse where Ben 10 faces certain death, and then he gets out of it, and Rook's like, what the hell happened? And he's like, I figured that the Omnitrix had a failsave that wouldn't let me die, and I was right.
Jesus Christ. What and Azimuth didn't think to mention this to him?
No. In fact, wait, no, hold on. I think they retroactively did that with the flashback segments of Omniverse.
I see.
Like, they had Azimuth tell him, like, when he was 11 in Omniverse.
Interesting. But yeah, Ben finds Ben goes back to the circus to find like people like wandering around like they're drunk and just kind of like all like weird and dizzy. And then he finds Grandpa outside of the circus. Max is like weed, bro. He's like stoned. He's like so funny.
Fuck yeah!
So funny.
Fuck yeah! I loved 420 Grandpa Max, Grandpa Smith, Grandpa Kush. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I tried to think of like an actual rhyme or something, but it didn't come in time.
Gwen is missing, and it looks like everybody has a headache. They put their hands over their heads and are just like walking around all like strangely.
You walk around strangely.
Yeah, I do. I do walk around strangely. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you for noticing.
It cuts to a scene of Zombozo's car. Which what is he? Is he driving a hearse? I don't recall looking at it. I don't remember it very closely. But I'm just thinking of it. I'm like, wait a minute, was that a hearse? Was he driving a hearse?
I couldn't tell you for sure.
We see Zombozo's car, and we see like in the back seat he has a bunch of random people from the show and Gwen kidnapped. But they're not like freaking out or anything. They're just laughing because at this point the viewer is pretty much like informed through multiple implications that Zombozo is hypnotizing everybody with his some sort of like paranormal power.
He's using no. Do you not remember the specifics?
No, he's draining. He is using a machine to drain the positive energy out of people and to use that as fuel for like.
Yeah, so like he makes them laugh and then he extracts the positive energy that it creates.
Right, but it's I don't know. To me, it seemed like maybe this is just cartoon logic, but like it didn't seem like maniacal laughter that was happening was like induced like naturally out of his like general clownery and tricks. I think
Holy shit,
and,
I
like,
was freaking out. I had a freak out very briefly because what I thought happened, because like they show you the scene where the happiness is stolen, and it looks 100% like he's stealing their souls.
yes.
So I thought that literally Grandpa Max started saying the sentence. I thought that Grandpa Max was gonna say that he took my soul, even though like Grandpa Max was like there and present for like a scene. Like they
Right.
would still. I thought they were still gonna be like, he took my soul, Ben, and I was gonna freak the fuck out. But thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah, it looked like their souls were being taken. I don't think that they were like just laughing and the laughter allowed him to, like take that positive energy. I think he was somehow also inducing that sort of laughter artificially or supernaturally somehow, because everybody is still laughing afterward too, like so hard as if they were like forced into laughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So they were clearly forced into laughter somehow. So like what all I'm saying is like he clearly did something to, I guess, hypnotize that bit away. There's some sort of like some supernatural shit going on, or some like really like weird manipulative psychology. But
Gotcha.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be either of those things. It's science fiction.
Listen,
It's a hypothetical extrapolation that could be logical. We just don't know.
okay, fine, I'll grant you that. Ben and Gwen. Wait, what? Sorry. Wrong note. Grandpa is like,
that was my Betty Gwen fan fiction. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
yeah. Read next page. Pause for drama. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to read that. Grandpa is still lightheaded, but he's also determined to find Gwen. They get in the RV. Ben is visibly like upset about something, and he's like, "What's wrong, Ben?" And he's like, "Promise not to make fun of me. I'm afraid of clowns." And then Grandpa Max is like, "Oh, everybody's got their own fears, their own irrational hesitance to be around something." And then he's like, "When I was a kid, I was scared of heights." And then, what did he say? Did he say like he like climbed the water tower or something?
Yeah, he climbed the water tower to go over Fear of Heights, but hold on. There's some extended lore about this shit. I'm about to
Okay.
hit you with this because I thought about it, because Zombozo comes up in an episode of Ultimate Alien. And this comes into question because I guess he does not appear in Alien Force. He's taken down the original Ben 10. He returns in Ben 10 Ultimate Alien.
Okay.
Demi, don't be mad. Just remind me what I was saying.
Fucking Zombozo in Ultimate Alien.
Yeah, Zombozo and Ultimate Alien. When Ben, Kevin, and Gwen start chasing Zombozo, Ben insists that he does not remember Zombozo. But it is canon confirmed lore that Ben Tennyson has a photographic memory. Like, he remembers everything, and that is real. That is a lore that is established in the show. That is an ability that he has latently.
Is this established before this Zombozo bit in Ultimate Alien?
No, I don't know. It might have been established in Alien Force, but I know it comes up later in Ultimate Alien.
So Ben
okay.
10.
So the reason, so Ben 10 has a photographic memory, so he does remember Zombozo. But the reason he claims that he doesn't is because he does not want to have to admit to Kevin that he was afraid of clowns. So he pretended not to remember Zombozo.
Holy shit, that kind of rings a bell, actually. That really strangely. I strangely feel like I knew that already once you mentioned that. Like Ben fabricating the fact that he was afraid of clowns to Kevin.
Dude, Ben Tennyson, literally Peter Parker. Okay. And now it's like entirely, because originally it's like he's kind of like Peter Parker, but he's dumb. He's a dummy. He's not a dummy. He's just not a nerd. But he's real fucking smart.
Yeah?
Literally Peter Parker is what I'm saying.
Were you going somewhere with this?
And also they're voiced both by Yuri Lowenthal.
Fuck you.
Hold on, I think I might have you muted. I just realized, shit. This happens sometimes.
Hello?
Yeah, that's what it is. Hold on, let me fix it.
You're like, hold on, stop talking, you're muted. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
What do you mean? Hold on, you're muted. I'm like, what? I'm muted? And you're like, yeah, you're muted. Hold on 1 second. What? Please elaborate. I'm muted? Yeah, you're muted. Just give me a sec.
It's just such a big coincidence because it's not true.
What are you talking about? What's not true?
I don't know anymore.
You don't know what's not true. Have you been hitting your pen this whole time? Riley, have you been consistently getting higher and higher throughout the duration of this episode? Because that's what it really feels like.
What? Oh.
Riley, do we need to pause this and finish this episode another time?
No.
Riley, I think we need to do that.
Let's give it a little bit longer. Let's see if I can get a second wind.
Let's see if we let's finish the first episode and then we'll stop. How about that?
Okay.
So yeah, essentially Grandpa Max tells the story about how he was afraid of heights, how he was able to climb up a water tower to get rid of his fear of heights. That's not good. That's dangerous. You're not supposed to do that. I know one person who knew a person who climbed a water tower and almost climbed a water tower, and I saw the My Name is Earl episode about climbing.
And I was literally just about to say, My Name is Earl did a water tower thing.
Yeah. And both of these stories are not. They didn't end very well. Well, I guess they ended well, but they were not fun experiences. They were not fond memories. But yeah, essentially he tries to instill the value of conquering your fears through exposure, I guess. And Ben, I guess, was like, okay, yes. Grandpa, while he's in the middle of this, passes out. And like he's driving. He passes out while he's driving. And Ben's like, holy shit. And he takes the wheel and like they fall off a mountainside. And like they almost fall off a cliff. But like Ben like finally like after like 2 minutes of like falling down off of the side of a mountain, Ben finally decides to step on the brake. And that's when their lives are saved by him not falling off the edge of the mountain. I don't know how much I knew about driving when I was 10 years old, but I think I would know to slam on the brakes at that point.
He couldn't.
Like,
he couldn't reach them.
Get down! The fuck?
Grandpa Max was in the way.
I'm sure he could have figured it out.
But in trying to figure it out, he could also doom them all. So he's trying to find a way that he can kind of remain attentive while he solves the issue.
Okay. Grandpa wakes up and then he's like super sad. He's like, oh, so sad. And like it sort of shows a flashback.
So sad.
It shows a flashback of his memory of like Zombozo sucking the happiness out of everyone in the crowd. And he's like, I think Zombozo sucks the happiness out of people. And now like the audiences
took my soul.
We're told it's made crystal clear like what Zombozo is up to for the most part. They eventually like find the headquarters of the gang, which looks like some sort of like circus storage place. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know where the fuck they were. They were at a circus and they drove to another circusy location. They like Ben tries to be quiet and like sneak in, but he alerts the circus freaks. So unfortunately, they know he's there. He decides to go upgrade and turn into a. Or sorry, he turns into upgrade and like hacks into a baseball. What are those called?
Baseball launcher, whatever the fuck. What was that doing there?
Baseball cannon. Well, it's
what was that doing there?
Circusy stuff. Circuses have had like circuses and carnivals and stuff. Sometimes have like baseball things.
I feel like there should have been an establishing shot. It was just really confusing.
Yeah,
there was no source for the fucking baseball machine. It should have been him like opening one of the box like a little scurry rat, and then he gets that.
Yeah. But long story short, he beats the living shit out of them. You know Ben 10. Like you know how he like utilizes the world around him and they have epic action scenes. I don't think I need to describe it in detail. Like, unless something specific happens that's worthy of its own discussion. Do you
A lot
remember
of
anything
property
from the fight?
damage in Ben 10.
Yeah, a lot of property damage. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Ben. He times out after the fight. Ben times out, and then he essentially tries to go into the Zombozo's lair, I guess, funhouse of some sorts, and he's greeted with a bunch of mirrors. First, only having his own reflection and distorted and I guess deceiving, only seeing himself in like distorted and deceiving perception from the mirror. And then, holy shit, Zombozo's there, and there's like a million Zombozos, and like he's scared. And all of a sudden, this crazy, weird, like acid trip shit starts happening, and like Zombozo is like a jack in a box, and then like he's like a spider, and Ben is stuck in a spider web, and like some of the shit is like legitimately creepy. I think this is the first like Ben 10 episode that it didn't scare me as a kid, but it definitely had me like on the edge of my seat, like scared for Ben. Like holy shit, like this is scary. Eventually, the real Zombozo is revealed to Ben, and he sees a reflection of Gwen as well as a bunch of other people on his clothing. And Zombozo sort of does the you know what villains do in media. They explain their evil plan so
It's
Ben knows about
me. I'm evil. I do a
evil.
thing.
And then it also shows we also get a look of Gwen and on the floor in this location, looking like she's like 80 years old, coughing and laughing on the ground. She looks not great. She looks like she's looking like Wendy from Breaking Bad,
I'd
unfortunately.
hit it.
Riley, make a Craig note.
No, that's funny.
Riley, I'm dead serious. Make a Craig note.
I'm incapable of making a Craig note.
Fucking god. Okay, dude, make a fucking Craig note, please.
Why?
Never mind. Okay. Anyways, so yeah.
Anyways.
We're shown the machine that Zombozo uses to suck the souls and the happiness out of people. And Ben's like, I'm going ghost.
Whoa!
And then when Zombozo lays his eyes upon Ben 10, something there's a little interesting detail. He says, sorry kid, I sell the tricks, I don't buy them. Implying that he thought Ben was an illusion, and also implying that that Ghost Freak was an illusion. And I guess saying that he sells these tricks and doesn't buy them, it sort of implies that he's an illusionist of some sorts. That this paranormal stuff that he's up to isn't legitimately paranormal, but it's more psychological. So he's not like a wizard. He's more of a illusionist. More of an illusionist than like a sorcerer. Long story short, Ben kicks his ass, throws him into his own machine, and all like everybody's souls or everyone's like happiness, which looks like souls, like shoots out and like flies back into their rightful bodies and restores everyone back to normal. Uh, Ben like scares the living shit out of Zombozo. Zombozo like begs him to stop, and then like he explodes into confetti before the Omnitrix times out. And that scene didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, is Zombozo dead? I don't know. I guess we'll find out later. Ben and Gwen are reunited, and everything's fine, and they're back at the RV. And essentially, Gwen tries to scare Ben by like jumping at him with a clown mask on, and then Ben is completely unfazed, sort of drawing a conclusion to this whole like getting over your fear thing. Ben scared his fear out of himself in a very literal way by scaring the clown that he was afraid of. And I don't know, interesting, I guess. I honestly think Ben 10 is one of the worst like kids cartoons when it comes to like implementing morals because it just doesn't feel natural. It just kind of feels like a I don't
Fuck
I guess
morals, though.
yeah, like I get it. I don't think it was bad. I just think like if they were going for like the whole like cartoon morality thing,
They
they're
do,
not
but it's
doing
an
it as
extremely
well.
slow burn. They kind of make that decision later, but they make the transition feel natural. Where it's like the world around them progresses so rapidly that they have to adapt to the change, and they're able to do so because they're proficient and they're actually really good people, and they always have been. So their transition into maturity in Alien Force feels natural, even though they don't really progress throughout all of the original.
I think you're too high to understand what I was saying because what you just ranted about was completely unrelated.
Yeah, it might be true.
I think on that note, we should talk about the next episodes. Do you want to just put out this episode as a one episode review, or do you want to pause the episode that we're currently recording and review the next episode next time?
Which would you rather?
I'd probably rather just put this out as a one episode thing. It would be easier, and it also wouldn't. It would also get it out faster.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. We've been going for more than an hour. Even when you cut things out, I think it'll be at least an hour.
Ooh,
I'm satisfied. Yeah?
We'll also be back on like an even number because we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then this can be 6, and then we can do back 7, 8.
Yeah, but that also means that we
point.
have to do the season 1 finale and season 2 episode 1 in the same episode.
No, we can just do a one episode thing again and like add another thing to talk about. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We don't need to do the cost benefit analysis of this right now. All right.
I love that term.
Riely, where can our listeners find you?
Well, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, sorry guys, we've been saying this whole time, like, oh, we're gonna talk about the other one, but yeah, just hold out for a week. Listen, I'm making this promise right now. I can't speak for Demi. I don't know if Demi's gonna have a thing next week, but I am personally committing my life. I'm committing my entire fucking life force to making another episode next week.
Me too.
No matter how fucking dark and broken I am, next Wednesday, it has to occur.
Unless my girlfriend gets back like on Wednesday, then fuck you. I'm gonna go visit her. But
you can go visit her ass on Thursday, motherfucker.
Man, all right. On that note, Riely, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me. Just honestly, I was thinking about this. I know where I'm gonna want you to find me, and I don't have the like cute fun link for it yet, because the anchor feed doesn't exist until we actually have a first episode. Just look up the Issue Crew on YouTube. Go subscribe. That's
Or
gonna
on
be like the main
your
thing.
favorite podcast platform. If you're listening to this like later on.
Yeah, if you're listening to this a little later on, it'll also be on your favorite podcast platform. But just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the first episode. And check out future episodes. This is going to be my main project. That doesn't mean I'm ending any of my current projects. I'm a fucking madman. But just for the record, that is the one I'm investing most of my fucking like podcast organization-tism to.
Right.
Like Omnitrix Radio, I'm kind of just along for the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, just check out the Issue Crew, please. As many of, if you're hearing this, please check out the Issue Crew, please. I'm gonna start like e-begging.
Yeah, please check out the Issue Crew. Same. Check out the Issue Crew and look up Demigloom anywhere. That's where you can find me.
Oh yeah. And on that note, thank you all for listening. Sorry again for the short episode, but we will be back next week.
All right.
We should think of something fun to talk about next week.
We should.
As like a little bonus, but just take a note of that, and we'll discuss later.
How about Ellie picks the topic? Yo, Ellie. What do you want to say?
Hey, yo, Ellie. Our fate is in your hands, Ellie. What should we talk about?
You can talk about you could pick anything from like literally anything. Make it completely unrelated or make it completely related. It doesn't matter.
No, it has to be Ben 10 related.
Okay, Ben 10 related.
Okay. So yeah,
all right.
Thank you all for listening, everybody. Subscribe. This is a YouTube podcast. I got to start remembering on podcasts where I'm doing on YouTube because I'm starting to do more of those and that I actually care about. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Engage with the YouTube video. That helps it spread more than anything. I think is the even small YouTube visibility ends up being more than podcast platforms most of the time. So please just engage with the video in any meaningful way.
you listening on a podcast platform makes us really happy, but it doesn't like get us out there any really.
Yeah,
Unless of course
any
it
listen is
helps pick
great,
up.
but I'm saying like the YouTube listens in particular are important.
Right.
So
I've
like,
been
yeah, like,
Demigloom.
and you just engage with it. And YouTube
I've been
engagement is
Demigloom. I've been Demigloom. My episode was Last Laugh.
See you next time, folks. Oh shit! I was waiting for you to end, Craig. I forgot I was the only one with that power.
It's about drive. It's about power. Stay hungry with power.
I'm trying to think of the gay version. I can't remember any of the words.
It's about cock. It's about peen. All right, we're moving on. Get Rick out of here.
All right, Demigloom. Now that you've finished your plot summary and it's the same evening that it has been for the rest of this podcast, let's do our wrap-up questions for Last Laugh.
Whoa.
Definitely.
Wait, what happened to the Last Laugh again?
Didn't forget.
Oh no, never mind. I remember now.
Definitely still the same evening. Okay.
Yes.
So
it is September 24th, 2022.
what? That wasn't September 24th when we recorded this. It was fucking September, or it is currently.
Yeah,
September
it is currently
21st.
September 21st. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's been that long since we recorded that? Holy fuck.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, totally.
What are the
didn't
wrap-up
forget to do
questions?
this.
Favorite
21st.
favorite scene, favorite character, rated out of 10.
Yeah, who was your favorite character in this episode, Demi?
Oh, it's got to be Zombozo, bro. Like hell yeah, bro. He's a wicked clown. You know I'm into that type of shit.
Well, as much as we know that I'm into clowns, only female clowns, so Zombozo does not do it for me. And I'm gonna go the alternative route. Zombozo was fine as a villain, but my favorite character, I think, in this episode is Ghost Freak. Ghost Freak fucking destroying Zombozo was insane, which also brings me to my favorite scene, which is Ghost Freak scaring the shit out of Zombozo and kicking his ass.
Yeah.
What about you, Demigloom?
That's my favorite scene too.
It is a very good sequel. I wonder what's inside Ghost Freak that freaks Zombozo out so much.
The
Like, I don't know if
tentacles and shit.
I don't know if it's just the tentacles though, because they're very particular about like not showing it, which means they might be implying that there's something more terrifying within. Because you only see him from the back when he does this.
Yes, this is true.
So there might be like some like crazy Lovecraftian like fangs in there or something.
Maybe a picture of Riley's face or something.
Yeah, that'd be truly terrifying. All right, now when it comes to rating this episode out of 10, though, there was some good shit. But overall, I think this might be the weakest episode so far. Is that weird to say? That might be weird to say.
Nah, bro, this is probably like one of the best. My favorite one is obviously going to be the old people one so far.
Out of the 6 we've watched, I think this is the weakest. Not like even out of the 7 we watched, but that's for next episode. Oh no, I don't think we've determined that yet in the podcast. Oops. I mean, this is the same night.
I think what was I going to say? I think out of all 7 hosts of the issue crew, you're probably the weakest one.
That's probably true.
No, it's not. God, I can't I want to make fun of you.
Who's the weakest host of the issue crew? I want to know the true take. What's the take here? By the way, subscribe to the issue crew, everybody. Ellie, go subscribe to the issue crew.
Yeah, go subscribe to the issue crew. That's our main podcast now.
Yeah, fuck the Omnitrix. We're still gonna do Omnitrix Radio, but the issue crew, good show. Go watch it.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Probably Andrew.
Wow.
He just doesn't connect with the rest of the cast as much as everyone else does. I still think he's a great host. Just like out of everyone, he's probably has the most least. I wouldn't say most disadvantages, but the least advantages that make you want to give him extra points.
I just like me as like the arbiter of the issue crew. I'm like I see the good in everybody. I invited everybody for a reason, so it's hard to pick who I think is the weakest. I guess maybe if you like force me to pick a gunpoint right now, I'd say Ida. But even that I feel weird about. So I feel like everybody does their part.
Ida,
It's just like
really?
if you had to aim a gun at me and get me to pick right now, I'd say Ida, but like even that I don't really have a founded basis on. I just think about everybody and like exactly how much I enjoy their presence on the issue crew. And if I have to make a call, it's Ida, but I think everybody is pretty much almost even equal.
I guess
It's
you
hard
have
to
more of a
it's
personal
hard to say
connection
who's
with.
good and who's bad.
You have a much more personal connection with Andrew than I do as well.
That's true. Andrew is the OG, and there's a reason why I've continued to work with him for so long. 'Cause even though sometimes he's a little bit passive, sometimes he doesn't connect as much as he should, but when Andrew goes hard, he goes hard.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Andrew is like a Z move. You know what I'm saying?
he's our podcast C move.
Yeah. But anyways, we're talking too much about Issue Crew for the Ben 10 normies that are listening. If you want to, we're done spoiling Issue Crew content. Go listen to Issue Crew.
Go listen to the issue crew.
The Issue Crew, is it on all platforms yet?
Well, I mean, not all platforms, but it's on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. So
Okay, yeah. Fuck you if you use like Deezer or some shit. If you use
fuck is
Deezer,
Deezer?
just die.
I've never heard of Deezer in my
Some
life.
shitty podcast app. If you use fucking what are the other ones?
Isn't this show
Fucking
on Stitcher?
Podbean, Stitcher.
Isn't this show on Stitcher?
This show's on everything.
How did you even do that? Because I was trying to put Issue Crew on Stitcher and I could not figure it out. Even though I yelled at you to put this show on Stitcher.
I don't remember.
Because like
I made a Stitcher.
Pokemon Variety Hours Pokemon Variety Hours on everything, but I distributed that podcast like 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I do not remember how to do it, and I cannot figure out Stitcher to get Issue Crew on there.
Huh. Interesting.
Actually, I didn't even have to. It was even more years ago with Stitcher, and I wasn't even the one who did it, because the cool thing about Stitcher was there was that time where Variety Hour ended, like way back when. The original finale was episode 41. And then after a while, we were paying for the feed on a different service. We didn't know about Anchor back then, or Anchor might not have existed back then. We were paying for it on a website called Buzzsprout. So eventually, it was Penguin who was paying for it, and eventually she stopped because we weren't doing the show anymore. So when we decided to bring the show back, first of all, I had to upload all 41 episodes to this new Anchor feed, which was quite the undertaking. Which is, I was used to it then when I had to do it with the mega feed when the Kappa shit happened on YouTube. And what was cool about Stitcher was the feed was still up even though you couldn't download the episodes because the RSS was dead. But
Yeah.
all I had to do was log into the Stitcher account and switch the RSS link to the new one, and it just like synced.
Huh.
It was pretty cool.
I see.
Good.
But
good
anyways,
app, Stitcher.
we did favorite character, favorite scene.
You gotta rate it out of 10. That was
Did
part
you
of my.
rate it out of 10?
No, I was starting to explain myself, and then we got on a tangent. So this is probably the weakest episode so far to me. I know that's crazy to say. There were some cool visuals and shit in this episode. Like, this episode has its merits, but it just feels like the weakest out of the ones we watched so
It has
far.
Clussy. There's Clussy in this episode.
That woman. Listen, we've had this argument already. That woman was not a clown. She was a circus freak. She was not
shut
dressed
up.
like a clown. Which isn't that our poll this week? Was that chick a clown or a circus freak?
I don't remember the poll this week.
Well, that's the poll now this week.
Okay.
And if we directly contradict ourselves later in the podcast and then go with what we said right now, just know we're definitely recording this on the same evening.
Yeah.
This is a 7 out of 10. Still a good episode. But I believe that's the lowest I've rated so far. I think I've only gone as low as 8 at this point. Maybe I've done another 7 before. But yeah, this feels like the weakest to me, but I don't want to rate it too low because it was cool in a lot of ways. So I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm going to give it a 9. It was solid in pretty much every way. The only problem is like the weird like scare the fear out of you thing. I thought it was a really cheesy like ethic that felt like forced into it. Ben 10, that's not a strong part of Ben 10 is like, at least like when you put ethics in Ben 10 and it goes well, it's always like subtle. Whereas that, it just felt like an episode of Paw Patrol, the way they delivered it. That's the only reason it's not a 10. Otherwise, like, we were introduced to a new cast of villains. I believe this was the first like non-alien like major threat that Ben 10 has had to face, right?
I mean, I guess major threat. Like, I don't know if you consider the Friends of Fish a major threat.
Oh yeah, it's true. What the fuck are the circus freaks though? Like, I think this is like the first time we're introduced to like
Pretty sure the
actual
circus
like.
freaks are aliens. That
Are
I
they?
could be wrong there, but I think it's implied that the circus freaks are aliens,
I'm pretty sure
unless
it's
they're just like
not
mutants.
right, but it seems like they also have like magic powers and shit. It's well,
Well, I
actually
mean,
no.
magic
He
certainly
implied that it
exists
was
in Ben
illusion.
10.
He implied that it wasn't magic. Actually, he implied that it was illusion because he was like, I sell the tricks, I don't buy them.
Well, I mean, there's a dude who literally breathes fucking acid. Like,
That's not magic. That's just
it's
like
not a
some weird
trick.
like that's like some weird like technology or like mutation shit. Some weird sci-fi shit, but it's not like paranormal.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder when magic like becomes a factor in Ben 10. Because like I
I
know
know
that there's
exactly what
there's like a
happens.
deep magic lore. There's like the fucking ledger domain and shit. Like I know that that's like shit that comes in Alien Force. But I know there's some point within the original series where Gwen starts to tap into magic because of her anodite roots.
Anodite roots? What?
Is that the species? Are you not
Wait,
familiar
what?
with the lore?
What the fuck are we talking about?
The woman that Grandpa Max like married, like the grandma, is an alien called an anodite who are known for like magic,
Oh
and that's
shit.
why Gwen wields magic.
That's right. Holy fuck. I totally forgot about that. That
Yeah, that's why Gwen has magic. That's why I'm pretty sure there's a Ben 10,000 who uses magic. I believe in Ultimate Alien
I can't
because
believe
they
Grandpa
have a new
Max
Ben
banged an alien,
10,000 every
bro.
season. I feel like that's really silly. I'm interested to. I don't know when we get to the first Ben 10,000, but I remember that being a really
It's
good
in season
episode.
3. It
Okay.
was pretty wild.
But it's weird how they have like a new Ben 10,000 every season. That's like a tradition. It's like, oh, here's the alternate future. Here's the alternate future. It's like every
Yeah.
season there's a new Ben 10,000.
You
Apparently
mean
in
every
Omniverse,
series?
every series, yeah, there's a new Ben 10,000. Like there are 4 distinct Ben 10,000s for each from the original Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse.
Yeah.
In Omniverse, he gets like alien fusions that are like actually cool and function, unlike the ones from the joke episode in the original series, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It wasn't really a joke episode.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a joke episode, but I'm saying like the bit behind it is like these fusions don't really work, but the Ben 10,000 fusions in Omniverse do work, and they're actually
Ah.
like good and usable. He turns into Goop Mungosaur, and that might be my favorite Ben 10 alien ever. If the fusions
Goop
count as their own alien,
Mungosaur.
fucking Goop Mungosaur.
That's pretty wild. I'm pretty sure Artiguana is the one alien that Ben gets from Ben 10,000 in the original series. I could be wrong about that. But I remember liking Artiguana.
I know in Ultimate Alien there are a bunch of aliens that are introduced as Ben 10,000's aliens that Ben later uses, but I don't think he actually like gets them from Ben 10,000 on screen. He just gets them off screen. And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, those are the aliens that Ben 10,000 had. That's cool because it's him from the future and now he's unlocking those aliens."
Yeah.
Like that's how he gets like well, that's how we're introduced to like Fast Track and to Jerry Rig and like aliens like that where the Ben 10,000 and Ultimate Alien.
Yeah.
And anyway, thank you for listening to the most engaging conversation we've had about Ben 10 all night, because for the rest of this episode, I was high and it was 4 days ago.
Yeah.
now,
All right.
now
Well,
back to our back to the show we recorded 4 days ago with Demigloom and Riely to wrap
yeah.
things up.
Sleep deprivy gloom and
Sleep
highly.
deprivy gloom and Riely.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm committing right fucking now, hand to God, that the next episode you record of Omnitrix Radio, which will be on Kevin 11 and whatever's next, I guess we'll do 2. I don't know why it was in my brain that we were just doing Kevin 11. There's no reason to just do Kevin 11.
There is
Kevin
reason
11
to do just do Kevin 11. That's what we were gonna do.
was it?
Yeah, we were gonna do just Kevin 11 because so that the numbers would stay even or whatever. I don't fucking remember.
And then you said we can just do that at the end and not right now. Like we could do an episode on just the finale instead of just Kevin 11.
Okay. What you said.
What I said. So Kevin 11 and whatever comes next. I have not checked the episode order. But hand to God, we are going to come here Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to be a little shit. We're going to record the podcast and it's going to be fine.
Right hand to God that Riely will show up on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, what Demigloom
No promises.
does is
no promises here. Listen, I will come unless my girlfriend gets back. If that happens, fuck you. That's my first priority. But if she doesn't, which she probably won't, everything will be fine. I guess we could just end this here.
Yeah, my bad. I started responding to Ida in the Issue Crew group chat before I did the proper outro. So yeah, we'll kick it back to past us. See you next time, folks.